The smell of coffee is in the air. It must be time for another episode of The Art of Struggle. Welcome to another episode of my podcast called The Art of Struggle. You can hear me rant about art, video games, movies, pop culture, CGI, the industry, and much, much more. My name is Fatah, and I'll be your guide as we explore the world of CG, pop culture, and the people who make it all possible. Alright, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about something I just found out about. It's been out since like 2016, but I am just becoming privy to it. Alright, so you guys have heard of Twitter, right? Duh, everybody's heard of Twitter. Duh, Ty. But have you guys heard of Mastodon? So I'm just going to read you a little bit about what Mastodon is, and I'm going to talk about it and then show you that I created it. Pretty much Mastodon is a social media platform, sort of like Twitter, but the opposite, if that makes any sense. So let's dive into the article. This article's from Kotaku, and they started off by saying, Twitter is a hellhole. Mastodon isn't trying to replace the trash can fire that is Twitter, but it is offering its users something different. Mastodon, a social network released in October 2016, could be described as a Twitter competitor. But the more you dig into it, the less true that feels. On the surface, it's pretty Twitter-like. Mastodon's website design looks a lot like the Twitter client TweetDeck. Posts can only be a certain number of characters. You can use hashtags and even boost other people's posts. That's interesting. There are some marginal surface differences. Instead of tweets, posts are called toots. That's cute. But when you first look at the site, the experience looks more or less the same. So, yeah, it's pretty interesting. And I created my own Mastodon account. And let us see. Yeah, I just created it, and it's pretty much pretty interesting. What happens is, instead of having a centralized server location where everybody is beholden to one giant server or administrator, which is Twitter and their corporate structure, everybody kind of controls their own rooms, and I think they're called locals, or let me see what they're called. So yeah, untangling the knot of what Mastodon actually is, however, begins when you're trying to set up an account. Unlike Twitter, Mastodon isn't a single network, but hundreds of them. They're called instances, all right? And they're all run independently by different users. You can still talk to users who are in different instances, but whatever instance you personally join will have its own set of social norms and rules, sort of like early 2000s internet forums. There are instances for queer people, for furries, for filmmakers, for people interested in Magic, The Gathering. One instance, you can't make any posts with the letter E. This inspired another instance on which you can only post using the letter E. So it's a different kind of community in which you have people as the head of the administrators or as the head of the communities, and you pretty much govern your community however you want to. And it's very different than Twitter, which like if you're following the Alex Jones fiasco, they're banning people and stuff like that from just different websites. So, and what happens is you give individual people, here's my thing. I don't know how, to really feel about it. It's weird because you're just transferring power to, another person. Now it's no longer Twitter that controls who gets banned, but a person who's like, okay, well, that's hateful, whatever you're saying, I'm gonna shut you down, and maybe I think it's like 100 people vote, and then you can be banned from a community or something like that, or the administrator can just remove you. So yeah, it's a different form in that sense, where there's like a bunch of these different instances, and each instance is controlled by a person who has their community stake at heart. So according to people who talk to Kotaku about what it's like to run instances on Mastodon, the site's decentralized network is part of its appeal. Also, more than one of these instance administrators said that their interest in a decentralized internet began long before Mastodon. So yes, people have been looking for ways where their talk isn't censored, or they can get to do censor whatever they want, and vice versa. So it's just a very interesting dynamic now. And I mean, it's been out since 2016, and I think as of last year it got like 1 million users, and I think that is pretty much what people don't like about it right now, is that it's going to become popular because it's decentralized in that sense. So it's going to get a flood more of people coming in and kind of just mixing up the community, the economy, and generating different things in the sense of the more people that know about it, the more crowded the marketplace is going to be. The more, because when you go on Twitter, sometimes it feels like you're talking to a void. Like you're just like, Twitter sphere, like it's just like, it's like an echo, and it just goes on and reverberates forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And on here, it's more of a community where it feels more real, I think is what people describe it as. Is it just feels much more real. So I decided, hey, I'm going to make an account. And I made an account, and I'm going to check it out, and I think I'm going to follow up with you guys in a week on what I think of Mastodon and how it's going. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about, is this new anti-Twitter Twitter. Where you aren't beholden to the corporate structure, but more of local people instances. Do you like my little hands gestures? I hope you do, because they're new. Yeah, I just incorporated them. But yeah, on that note, let's go to quotes of the day. I don't know why. Random just music just pops into my head sometimes. I'm a little crazy like that. Ghostbusters. Today's quotes come from Nnamdi Azikiwe. He says, "Originality is the essence of true scholarship. Creativity is the soul of the true scholar." He also said, "It is better we disintegrate in peace and not in pieces." Nelson Mandela once said, "There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one that you are capable of living." To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity. I'm going to leave you with this one quote where he says, "Money won't create success. The freedom to make it will." I want to thank you for listening to another episode of my podcast called The Art of Struggle. I want to remind you that you can catch any of these episodes on YouTube, watch them on iTunes. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, pretty much the social media stuffs. My name is Ty. Don't forget to keep on struggling, because the life you want is on the other side of your struggle. All right? After that, I mean, I'm out. Go live your life. You know, stop watching me all the time. You know, just chill. All right? I'm done. I'm out. Like, seriously, go. Like, if you're still here and you haven't subscribed yet, there's a problem with you. Just go. All right? You wanted to end like this, but you brought it here.